Well, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming out to join us. We're thrilled to be here playing as the Shoals Big Band for the WC Hindi Music Festival once again. This band has been involved with the festivals from the very beginning, except for 1 year where the mall was purchased by a different owner and they were uncomfortable having performances, so we skipped 1 year, and all the years of the big band, which is now 46 years old, and still going strong. And we're just so thrilled and thankful that you come out to see us. And you notice, it's a free concert, but we do charge to get out the door when you leave. We'll have buckets. That was, of course, Duke Ellington's In a Mellow Tone. This band loves to play some Ellington music. We're going to hit all the big band leaders' hits tonight. And right now we want to feature a young man who's been our lead alto player, lead clarinetist the entire time the big band has been in existence. Dr. Jimmy Simpson playing Artie Shoals, Beginning to Begin. never gets old to me. I tell you, I always enjoy listening to Dr. Simpson play. We'll get him back up here to play some more a little later. Now, I do want to tell you they have refreshments out here, and if the band gets to sounding worse, just go get some wine. It'll get better later. Not many people know, but we also sing in the big band. We have the Big Band Glee Club. And, we're gonna feature the Glee Club on this next trio of Latin American tunes entitled Latin Fantasy. Features Mr. Terry Ormby on Besame Mucho, is that right? Besame Mucho, and I know we've got another Latin tune. Cumanchero. I was going to say Copacabana, but that's a good song too. But you'll enjoy this, Latin Fantasy. That's how we're gonna work this. That's always a fun one. Now we'd like to bring a real singer on the stage. A young lady who just turned 25 2 days ago, just turned 25. Now this young lady, great clarinet player, over there in the band at UNA when I was the director. She was on the line at dance line. She sang with the jazzers. She did everything there was to do. And just an outstanding individual. She's going to sing a great, it's a Jackie Wilson tune that's got covered by James Taylor, but I think you're going to like it when Melissa Daniel does it better. How sweet it is. Please welcome Miss Melissa Daniel.
We want to correct the record there. One night going around was taking the air. I took the bunny with the greatest care. When in the hen house something stirred, you shouted, "Who's there?" This is what you heard. Ain't nobody here but us chickens. Ain't nobody here at all. So come on yourself, stop that fuss. Ain't nobody here but us. We chickens trying to sleep, and you butt in. Hobble, 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 it's a set. Ain't nobody here but us chickens. Ain't nobody here at all. Serve it up in awful dust. So how to put that gun out the way? Tomorrow, it's a busy day. There's nothing else to do. It's the way around to get words to scratch. It takes a lot of second getting juice. Ain't nobody here but that's chicken. Ain't nobody here at all. So calm yourself. Ain't nobody here at all. So on yourself and stop that fuss. Ain't nobody here but us. The comic one that got the other way. Ha, 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 hey, boss man, what you say? It's easy, baby. Ain't nobody here but us today. Thank you so very much.
Joe got into the wine before the concert. I need to talk to him about that. That was old Louis Jordan tune. Y'all remember that song, Ain't Nobody Here But Us Chickens? Louis Jordan had so many hits kind of between the swing era and the rock and roll era. He was in that jump swing era when Louis Prima was in that era, jump driving well. Louis Jordan had Is You Ain't My Baby, and of course that, Choo Choo Boogie. A lot of big tunes through the years, and just fun music to play. We're going to turn back towards the Duke Ellington book again. He had a tune that everybody enjoyed playing. Had two titles. We call it C Jam Blues because it's in the key of C and everybody gets a chance to play. We'll just have three solos tonight. They also call it Duke's Place. Ella Fitzgerald wrote words to it. We called it Duke's Place. And so you may know about either title, and either's fine with us. We just enjoy playing anything out of the Ellington songbook. His music had so much influence on so many other bands and so many types of popular music. And a lot of people have studied what he did. And his was never a choice of what chord do I need to put there and what chord do I want to put there, because he knew so many that he could put there. And so it's always refreshing as a musician to play his music. This is one of his simpler tunes. We hope you'll enjoy it. C Jam Blues. course, Joe Stallworth on piano, Ricky Burks on tenor, Dylan Maxman on trombone, and Dr. Simpson on clarinet. I want to tell you that Dylan Mashburn, our lead trombonist, he's a UNA graduate, got his bachelor's and master's there with me in the band program, went up to Memphis, got his DMA in trombone performance, and has just recently been hired to be the band director, is at Bismarck State College, which is nowhere near here. And I asked Dylan if he knew where it was. He said, no. I thought it was in Tennessee. I said, no. It's close, though, real close. We're proud of Dylan, and we'll get him back down below the Mason-Dixon line soon. And get him back here to play some lead with us. But I know he's going to do a very fine job up there. And of course, you heard Ricky Burks on tenor sax. Ricky is the department chair at Wallace State Community College, the music department chair down in Hansville, Alabama. Does a phenomenal job there. Ricky and I were in the band together in college and got in a lot of trouble. We won't talk about that anymore. Usually when we were getting in trouble, it was with Dr. Simpson, because he was kicking us out of our private lessons for not practicing. And I told him, well, that was Ricky's. But he was a wonderful teacher, and then we had the chance to sub in with the big band when we were in college. Somebody couldn't make it to a rehearsal. We would get to go sit in with the big band and sit near him and learn how he played and learn his stylings. And that right there was as much as you can learn in college, just sitting in the band playing beside him. We want to feature him again, this time on the alto sax, doing another Duke Ellington tune, which was made very popular by Tommy Newsom. Do y'all remember that name, Tommy Newsom? Lead alto on the Tonight Show Band with Johnny Carson. And when they started doing their Tonight Show Band albums, this was one of the featured tunes. Just do nothing till you hear from me. Any sense of what we're doing. Well, we are very fortunate as a big band that we have supporters, and tonight's concert is being brought to you by Mr. Brad Lynch, who I think I saw sitting on this side. Are you on this side, Brad? There he is, right there. Wave at Brad. Thank you so much, Brad. He funded the concert with the guys over here. We had our 1 yearly rehearsal last night, and then everybody showed back up today. And that we're so thankful. Brad's a great tenor player. He doesn't tell me people that. He's a tenor sax player. His dad, Aaron Lynch, was a trumpet player and ran a band for years. The Sunshine Boys, I believe, that he played with. And they played around town, very popular band. And influenced a lot of people that have played in this band also through the years. So everything is kind of connected, and we want it to stay that way. We want to keep connected to younger generations of musicians. I understand there was the Oceans Big Band played last night, which is a lot of young students in town. And the Singing River Big Band played yesterday, which is great. I'm glad we've got 3 big bands at the Handy Festival. That's super. I hope we can encourage more. So now we'd like to step back. If we're doing big band music, you can't do big band music without doing a Glenn Miller piece. And we want to do Tuxedo Junction, which of course was written by Alabama native Erskine Hawkins from Birmingham, Alabama. And it was a place down there near Tuxedo Park where everybody would gather. And Glenn Miller bought the tune from him and rearranged it, slowed it down, made it a dance tune. It's kind of a jump tune when it was originally recorded. And it's just one of our staples, and we really enjoy playing it. You get to hear I believe Terry plays the trumpet solo, am I right? Yeah, Terry Hornby. And I always tell people Terry Hornby and I were in junior high school together, and then we were in college together. I know I look a lot younger than he does. We really, he's actually a year younger than me. And I still vividly recall when we did our competition band, and I looked across the room and thought, well, who was that fool sitting in the first trumpet chair? He doesn't need to be there. And then I heard him play, and I thought, yeah, that's exactly where he needs to be. And I've admired his playing ever since. But we hope you'll enjoy this rendition of Tuxedo Junction. failed to mention that was Drew White playing the other trumpet solo. Drew's a long-time trumpet player from the area. Yeah, great job, Drew. Very talented individual. And one other thing I want to mention is right here on the end of our trombone section, Alex Hamrick, just I think 5 weeks ago, he and his wife Victoria had a baby. Her name's Aria. Yeah, I would give her a hand. And they were both in the band with me there at UNA, very important, valuable people in the program. And we're glad that Alex, wonderful musician, glad he still comes over and plays with the big band. And maybe we'll get Victoria and Aria back over here. Victoria was a drum major with the UNA band and a French horn player. Outstanding individual, as are so many of them. We're going to bring on another one now. We have added a male singer with our band. How about that? And it's not me. Even better. This young man is director of bands at Meek High School, which is in the metropolis of Arley, Alabama, about the size of this auditorium right here. Blink, it's gone. And he has his students in band camp today, and left band camp, and came up here to sing with us. And we're going to do a great tune. Well, it's kind of some people call it a gospel tune. I just call it a good old tune, good hillbilly tune. This Old House. Would you please welcome Mr. Zach Cleghorn?
This old house once knew my children. This old house once knew my wife. This old house was home and comfort as we bought the stores of life. This old house once rang with laughter. This old house heard many shouts. Now it trembles in the darkness when the lightning walks the cloud. This house no longer ain't gonna leave this house no more. Ain't got time to fix the shingles. Ain't got time to fix the floor. Ain't got time to walk and fix the floor. Don't pay. Ain't gonna leave this house no longer. I'm gonna make the same. This old house is getting shaky. This old house is getting old. This old house has seen the rain, and this old house has seen the cold. On my knees I'm getting chilly, but I feel no fear of pain, 'cause I see an angel peeking through the broken window pane. This house no longer ain't gonna leave this house no more. Ain't got time to fix the shingles. Ain't got time to fix the floor. Ain't got time to fix the floor. Don't pay. Ain't gonna get this house no longer. I'm getting ready to make the same. This old house is getting low. This old house has seen the rain, and this old house has seen the cold. I'm getting chilly, but I feel no fear of pain as I see an angel peeking through a broken window pane. Ain't got time to fix the shingles. Ain't got time to fix the floor. Ain't got time to walk and fix the floor. Don't pay. Ain't gonna get this house no longer. I'm getting ready to make the same. Ain't gonna get this house no longer. I'm getting ready to make the same. Ain't gonna get this house no longer. I'm getting ready to make the same.
Go get you something to drink, Zach. Don't worry about him. We have that tune in 2 different keys, and I brought the one in the higher key. I'll have to make up for that. Why don't we see if we can get Zach and Melissa out here to do a tune together? That's something we've not seen lately. We've chosen a great old tune out of the Rosemary Clooney songbook entitled Slow Boat to China. Hope you'll enjoy it.
It's nice to see you, Clemore.
Thanks, Miss M.
What you been doing these days?
Just making records.
Really?
Yes, really.
Do you still play piano for people?
Well, it depends on who.
I'm gonna get you on a slow boat to China. All to myself alone. Get you and keep you in my arms. Leave all the others on the faraway shore. I'm on the briny where the moon's big and shiny.
They'll take your heart of
So I'm gonna get you on a slow boat to China. All to myself alone.
Well, listen, I didn't know you felt that way about me.
I don't. I just need a piano player.
Ah, just like the old days.
You're not gonna change keys on me, are you?
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna get you on a slow boat to China.
I hear that's a slow boat.
All to myself alone.
You'll have to stand in line.
You and keep you in my bed.
You attack.
All the others on the shore.
Let's went to China and back.
From the briny where the ocean's big and shiny.
Not even in a room.
In my arms, oh, come on, what did you say?
You always get your way. I'm gonna get you on a slow boat to China. All to myself.
All
To myself.
That's a lot of fun. We'll try to include Melissa and Zach on everything we do because they're just so good at it. Aren't they great? Now, I also want to make mention that Ethan Franks and some of his staff came in to open the theater for tonight. We thank them so much for giving us into the Ritz Theater. Isn't this a great facility? And he even put up the shimmer curtain to take the glare off the members' heads. Really worked well. Thank you, man. Give you an extra $1 after the show. We can't play at the W.C. Handy Festival without playing one of our favorite tunes, of course, St. Louis Blues by W.C. Handy, and he wrote so much other music. He wrote gospel music and spiritual music, religious music, but we know him for his blues. Of course, we wouldn't have the 12-bar blues, which so much of our popular music is based on, had he not written it down back in the early 1900s. One thing that crossed my mind today was a lot of his blues tunes were marches. He wrote them as marches because those were very popular in the late 1800s, early 1900s. And James Reese Europe, a native of Mobile, Alabama, ran a Negro regimental band in Europe. He played a lot of W.C. Handy music and really popularized his music with Europeans and with men in the military because their band was one of the most popular bands in the European theater during World War I. And of course, he came back and had a career in the United States in New York, but he's in the Alabama Music Hall of Fame as well. James Reese Europe out of Mobile, Alabama, as a band leader. So we're going to feature a number of the players on St. Louis Blues. Thank you. Hey, that was Ed Harris, our new trombone player on trombone. Let's give Ed a hand. Ed retired out of United States Marine Corps as a musician and ended up in the Shoals, and we're so glad he's here and hope to see more of him on our stage. Well, we're getting close to the end, and we always end with Louis Prima's Sing, Sing, Sing. Now, I'm a bit of a history buff. My wife will tell you I drive her nuts with this stuff. And, hey, we went to see the movie Young Washington. Y'all seen this movie?
Yeah.
Great movie. Well, I'm going to tell you this because I'm a history buff, and my wife I get on her nerves. In the movie, he goes in a little pub and he looks for his friend. He says, hey, Christopher Guest. Well, she's descended from Christopher Guest's brother, Nathaniel, 7th great-grandfather. So, brush with greatness right over there. So, we're all into the genealogy stuff, and it's cool to look back and see where you came from. When they used a historically accurate name in the movie, I was like, my goodness, that's great. So, let's go back to Sing, Sing, Sing. Louis Prima wrote it. We know him as a Vegas musician out of New Orleans. But he was also, in the movie The Jungle Book, he was King Louis of the Swinger Zoo in that Disney movie. They fashioned that character, the King of the Monkeys, off of him and all of his movements. He would jump around on stage and all these antics when he would perform, and had a great little band, Sam Butera, and All-Stars, I think is what they call that. Great band that played with him, and the biggest hit he wrote was for the Benny Goodman Orchestra. Sing, Sing. We want to feature our drummer, who's the best one I've ever been around, Mr. Mitch Regal, on this too. Yeah, give him a hand. Mitch he's the one driving the bus, where the rest of us just in it. We're just along for the ride. He takes us everywhere we need to go. And we thank you again, and Brad, I want to thank you for sponsoring the concert. We appreciate you so much. Let's give Brad a hand. And remember, you have to pay to get out the door when you leave. And we appreciate you coming out to see us. We hope to see you back again next year. We'll wrap it up with Sing, Sing, Sing. Alyssa Daniels, Zach Claiborne, and the big band. Thank you.